Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's
Almost.
time!
Hey!
That was dope.
What it do? This is A1, co-host of It's Almost Time. I'm here with my other co-host, Paul, and we got the man officiating things here this afternoon, Mr. Cornbread 217. How's everybody doing today?
I'm doing great. Action-packed weekend. A lot of great stuff to watch. Killer main event on UFC. Not a lot to complain about.
As you know, I'm just here to keep the peace. You know what I'm saying? Make sure ain't no capping. But you know what I'm saying? Keeping it all straight. You feel me? I normally reenact what's called the real ninjas clause, but you know, I feel like since I'm the ref, then I don't need that because I am the law. You
Yes.
feel me?
No, yeah, you keeping the
I agree.
peace, you making sure it runs smoothly.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody's cheating. No
Yep.
cheating.
So if
moves.
y'all want to touch gloves, do it now. You know what I'm saying? And then let's get into it. Respect my commands at all times. You feel me?
All right, so we really focusing in on this is our debut episode, obviously, because if you try to search for some shit before this, there ain't nothing. Really, what we're trying to do here at It's Almost Time is a week or two prior to big events, big fights. We are going to record some videos, some breakdowns, some predictions. Maybe even some betting parlays that we might recommend as well as for some of these fights. But we're just basically gonna break down that it's almost time for these fights. Take a look at it. Anytime we do cover a fight, the plan is that following Sunday is to do a recap of the fights from the night before, and then to kind of touch on the upcoming fight cards and fights we will be covering. We will be talking about some up and coming fighters as well, not quite affiliated with the UFC. Any kind of buzz in the MMA community, it might get touched on in this show. But yeah, the premise for now, anyways, is we are focused on some bigger fight cards, some bigger fights, and trying to give some breakdowns and our own analysis of what we think may happen.
Now understand, you know, ain't none of us really I'd say myself, like I practiced martial arts, you know, growing up and like still currently a little bit, but nothing to the degree that these fighters have done. And so that's where the knowledge and understanding of, you know, the of fighting comes from for me. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say that none of us are like professional analysis or analysts or like none of that. We just three homies that like to, you know, watch fights and talk our shit.
I got a amateur corner badge back there from 2009. So I have a little, like, tiny bit of experience in the fight game,
you
not
know
as a fighter, as a coach and a trainer. And even then, it's been a lifetime ago, so I'm not going to pretend that I know everything about everything. I will be the first to say I got some fucking opinions, though. If I love a fighter, you're probably gonna know it. If I fucking hate a fighter, you're definitely gonna know it. Fuck you, Kobe. But nah, really, we just here to talk that shit, break down some stuff, and make it enjoyable. You know, this isn't 100% serious. We'd like to try to throw
Not
some
at
comedy
all
in the mix because this dude that is officiating is a fucking comical mastermind.
Hey,
Some
and
dumb shit sometimes.
keep your fingers out the fence, Leon.
Yeah, come on, Leon.
No, that happened. So you know, if we are gonna go on to, you know, last night's recap, I think that would be a good segue for that. You feel me? So, just want to recap, and we don't necessarily have to go through every fight or none of that, but I just wanted to touch on some things, some interesting stuff, and that happened, and feel free to chime in or add what you thought was, maybe y'all saw something I didn't. So, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna start in the prelims. So last night, actually, let's set the scene. San Antonio, Texas, right? We
Mhm.
got main event is Marlon Chito Vera v. Sandhagen Court. You know what I'm
No
saying?
main event, Holly Holm and Yana Santos.
And Yana Santos as the co-main. Now we gonna get to that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
San Antonio, Texas, it's going down last night. A lot of Texans on the cards. So that's what I've noticed too, is when UFC is fighting somewhere, it's an abundance of that region.
They bring in some local fighters.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Hometown heroes.
And I like that though. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, so they did it. They came to St. Louis actually, 2 or 3 years ago at this point, and tickets were decently priced. I want to say Matt Hughes was inducted into the Hall of Fame then. You know what I'm saying? And and on that card, there was a bunch of people from St. Charles, St. Louis, Alton. You know what I'm saying? The surrounding area, and I'm like, yo. This is cool. When they was just
Right.
in England, it was a bunch of England fighters and Scotland and Ireland, you know what I'm saying? They had some dogs on there. So that's cool. So they was in Texas, had a lot of Texans, right? So there was a couple fights that were canceled, but so we start out with who is it? Victor Altamirano
Yep,
from
and
Mexico. And
Vinicius
Salvador. Dog, this fight now, I had to go back and recap. I watched the highlights, but then I watched the actual fight. It was a damn good fight, fam.
Well, and Salvador has a very unique style.
Yes.
I think long term, I could see why he came off of the Contender Series, if I'm not mistaken. And I could see why Dana signed him, because fighters like that, like your Victor Cruzes and stuff, they're very tough to train for. Especially if he gets a couple dubs under his belt, he's gonna be okay, and he'll get another shot. Altamirano did win a decision, but it was a closely contested bout.
Yes, it absolutely was. Also, I was gonna say my man haircut was from Avatar and shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But he wasn't throwing no air, so it was even throwing me more off.
And I'll throw myself under the bus here. In '96, I had the shaved head with just the bangs in the front.
Yeah.
So I made some really shitty decisions with haircuts too.
Right.
I got locks now, and some might argue
I
that.
bet you was a good looking emo bitch. You know what I'm saying? No, that's what's up. No.
Hey.
I had the Gucci from Memphis.
So what do I do if the ref is over the line? Can I say
no, man? You gotta look. You gotta respect me at all times.
Oh, I can't call.
You know what I'm saying? Look, only the organization can kick me out.
He's basically Big John McCarthy. He made the rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, gee, soon as John McCarthy left, Herb became number one, fam.
And he's been questionable
lately, a little bit.
Herb?
But moving on. So Altamirano gets the decision out of that. Next fight. And in my opinion, probably outside of the co-main, fight of the night.
Fight of the night, yes, for sure.
In my opinion, was CJ Vergara versus Daniel Da Silva. Negro and white Negroes. And all other type of Negroes, fam. Because there's a lot of
his name is Serrator or something. They got this name that they have on the actual fight card is different than what they were calling him last night. Baruda or something. Or Saruda, yeah. Ceruda is actually what the guy's actual
but
last
they
name.
just call him CJ. So look, bruh. So
Oh no,
this,
CJ's the other guy. I'm talking about
no. Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from what I understand, this dude Daniel has been going in and like nobody makes it to the third round with him, right? Before this fight.
But in this fight, he's 0-2 in the UFC.
Yeah, right. In the UFC. Right.
But
Okay.
he goes all in. He hurt every single opponent.
Yeah, basically he just burns all his gas and it usually works out for him. So they go in and I'm talking about Daniel is molly-whopping CJ dog. Like, listen, if somebody was playing Tekken or Street Fighter, right, and you seen what was happening to this man, he definitely lost round one with dude having like 3/4 of a life bar left. He put it on him like that. 10-8.
You're talking about the second fight on the card?
Yes.
Oh, dude, that was like a 10-8 round for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
and
like
debatably.
Yes.
It reminded me too, though, because when he got rocked and he was trying to do the runaway, like, and he
was literally running,
trying to clear his head. But like it was what happened in DC after Jones had head kicked him. He was trying to run and his legs just quit working.
He turned into Dawson real quick. Like that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, so look, he hit him maybe twice. I mean, it was blocked or whatever, but even still, block kicks can fuck you up.
Oh yeah.
And so he threw 2 spinners, fam, 2 spinning back roundhouses. Bap, caught him, right? And then that third one, he actually caught him and knocked him down. And that's when he got up and he started trying to run away, fam. And that punk caught him against the fence, squared up, and just punched him dead in the mouth. And he dropped again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, it is over for you, CJ.
I don't remember who was reffing, but they legitimately were like looking for any opportunity to stop that fight after.
I want to say it was Herzog because he kept telling them, he was like, "Hey, defend! You got to do something."
And Herzog is phenomenal.
Yeah,
I gotta give him kudos because he really. It's like with John McCarthy back in the day. Yeah. Big John told you what was happening, what needed to happen to continue fighting.
Right.
And he was one of them refs that really, got to the fighters. But
I said, look, and like still side note on reffing, I said I still respect Herb Dean, fam, even though lately.
Your mic just cut out.
Mic's out.
Yeah, your mic cut out. It sounded like you accidentally unplugged it, maybe.
Sounded like it unplugged or something.
It just went click.
Oh no.
There we go. Yep.
You muted it.
All right, yeah. So because he told Leon when he grabbed the fence, he was like, and Leon's like, man, well, just can't you reposition us? He was like, I can't reposition you because he would have taken you down. So I have to take a point, right? I said I also watched Herb Dean grab Cain Velasquez by his waist and pick him up off of somebody after saying it was over, fam.
And that can't be easy.
And that dog, do you know how big Cain Velasquez is?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Then do you know how big a bus is?
34 feet.
You feel me? So, okay, so back to this CJ Vergara dog. 10-8, right? To De Silva in the first round. I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah, Vergara's corner was very smart in between rounds and told him how it was too. Hey, you lost this round and it was probably 10-8. Like, didn't sugarcoat it, told him straight up.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to need to come back from that.
And so, that's what I said. I said, yo, fam, he went to his corner and his corner said, bruh, after what I just seen, if you don't go out there and work this nigga, you ain't getting no ice cream after this. You know what I'm saying? And dog, he must have went out there, and I'm talking about when I say complete 360 or 180, I guess, because he went. Look, he did this, fam, and he went out there.
Yeah, he definitely.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No,
I'm just gonna say he 180 twice, like 3 times. It was crazy,
man. Dog.
It was the flip around, and then that if that would have gone to a third round, which it got close to actually making it out of the second round, that would have been a 10-8 round for Vergara, which I don't know if in my life watching this sport in the past 30 years, if I've ever seen back-to-back 10-8s, but for different fighters.
Yes. Like, no.
Yeah.
I've seen, so the closest is like, and I was just talking about this too when so remember GSP's basically only losses was like Matt Serra and Matt Hughes when he was in his prime, right? And then he came back and dog walked both of them.
Yeah.
Like that's the closest shit I've seen, but not in the same fight. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but dog, okay, and see, and then also with this, so with CJ, right? So when he's getting his back, what I'm noticing is happening, and this is what people don't understand about like fighting and how much of a chess game it is, right? So he's got top position and he's implementing some ground and pound, right? A couple of these shots, he throws some elbows in there, and what happened? Oh shit. And dude started freaking the fuck out. I said, fam, a good elbow will trump 5 punches, nigga.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Splits people open too.
And, with the week before, I just watched somebody get cut from an up kick.
Mm-hmm.
And like, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was amazing. It was crazy. He came back, dog. Went for the triangle hold and was kneeing this man in the side end up getting back position, fam.
Yeah.
I said,
shots. Yeah, them body
shots. Okay, now we're thinking.
Yeah.
Now we're thinking, fam. I said, I'm doing that from now on. That's my favorite hold, fam. I said that was amazing, and then got his back, fam. It was over with. You're done. Back. Hey, defend. I can't. Okay, well then I gotta call it.
Right.
They got in between them, fam. I said that was beautiful performance, but not. I mean, like for the other dude too, for that first round, because I'm like, yo, I'm over here like, man, what is this man finna do? And he did it. Round 2, great job. Trevin Giles with the decision versus Preston Parsons. Didn't really care for that fight, but cool. And then Lucas Alexander over Peterson, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now, we're going to the main card. Now, Daniel Pineda and Tucker was supposed to be the main of the prelims. But because who got canceled? The Alex Perez fight got canceled.
Yeah.
Due to him having a medical issue. And so then they moved up. And him by submission, bruh, in round 2.
No, Pineda looked really.
Yeah, Pineda looked real good, fam. Yeah.
Very good.
That was. Go ahead.
And I hate that like we're not focusing on it like that prelim fight, but there wasn't a whole lot to say about Pineda. Like Lutz, I'm not super versed on Lutz to begin with, but like even just with that fight, I can't really say anything about it because it was mostly Pineda's fight. Like he just did what he wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you have to deep dive into every fight if it was just, no exciting moments.
No. Yeah, and so that's why I was saying so that, Vergara de Silva, I had to talk about that because I was like, man,
right.
That was just one of them things that it was like, oh, that's an anomaly because that doesn't happen.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So
well, like you said, I mean, even if we're breaking the card up into 2 parts, like the prelims and the main card, that fight definitely was the highlight and fight of the night for the prelims.
Word, most definitely.
I agree.
And then Joe
Kuani, that was a good fight, and I will say that in the past, whenever you start grappling with Joe Kuani, people have manhandled him. He did decent. He was privy to some stuff, It's
Well-
them damn Russians and that Dagestanis, one
Yeah.
of the Dagestanis.
And Duraev looked a little gassed after some of them exchanges and some of that ground control, which really with that Dagestani style wrestling, you don't
can't
see that a lot. So no, big props to Injo Kuani for making those adjustments. Duraev got the decision.
Yep, he did.
But Injo Kuani didn't look bad.
Word. Heard. After that, Macy Barber with the decision over Andrea Lee. Now, what do you think about that?
Can I say that
Questionable decision?
I said the same thing.
Yeah, well, and I'll give some advice to any fighters fighting Macy Barber in the future. Finish her.
Yeah.
Because you could beat her 5 rounds to none in a main event, and she gets favoritism, and it's not her fault. I'm not blaming you, Macy Barber. You're a good fighter, but you've had some like not so great performances and have gotten some nods that you shouldn't have these past few fights, and I'm not the only one who thinks so.
Yep. With her bad baby looking ass.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say nothing.
No, I will. That's what I'm here for. I'm the ref. Respect my motherfucking calls. What'd you say, tower control? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, moving on. Nate Landwehr with the sub over Austin Lingo, another Texan.
Yeah.
That dude's crazy.
Man. Go ahead, dog. Talk about it.
Landwehr actually looked good. I, again, didn't know a ton about him going into this fight, but his performance and against, the hometown favorite, he showed up and showed out, and he got some love there at the end in that post-fight.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
He always goes off in his post-fight interviews. He definitely likes to cut promos and likes to give up his show. He fights dangerously. He eats a lot of punches, so we'll see how that ends up for him in the long run, but he's exciting to watch.
Absolutely. I chuckled when he said, hey, that was a sucker punch to a rear naked choke. Because so that was what I was geeking about, because I'm watching it, right? And so homeboy got both his hands down so you can't kick him to the head, right? But he didn't need to. Like, he had his back, and he literally uppercutted him from behind, and his mouthpiece fell out. And he watched his mouthpiece fall out, and then dude just grabbed his fucking neck, and it was done. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh shit, he hit that motherfucker into a fucking, it was weird. Because he almost did hit him into himself, for the choke. And yeah, I was bugging on that. So now, co-main, nigga. Now, if it wasn't for the fact that nigga came back to win in the prelims, fam, this would have been fight of the night, in my opinion. I said, because you have, it's something of the night, fam. Because listen, we talking about Holly Holm, nigga, 11-year veteran at this point. She shut that Morpheus shit down, was the first bitch to do so. When Rousey was Queen fucking Rousey, nigga.
Yep.
Holly Holm said, bitch, sit down. Oh, you getting up? Douse some kick.
Man.
Stop.
Dog.
That shit was brutal.
Heard around the world, bro.
Still one of the most beautiful head kicks in the sport.
I said, because the shit that comes after that is Nunez knocking out Cyborg, nigga. That's probably number 2. And then I said I had another one. Damn it. Oh, fucking Pena doing Nunez, bro.
Yep.
With the rear naked.
Yep.
I said that's up there. What?
I've got some thoughts on that whole Nunez Pena one, and I think we've kind of spoke about this before. I ain't throwing accusations. I ain't gonna say somebody threw a fight, but I would check the bank records of some family members close to the Nunez family, because some people had to have had some insider information and probably paid to come up.
shots fired, fam. You feel me? No. But okay. But with that being said, Holly Holm, 41, bro.
She a G.
And motherfuckers say after you're 40, we're done. We have exceptions. Glover Teixeira, Alistair Overeem, nigga.
Randy Couture.
Randy Couture was probably the first one.
He was.
You know what I'm saying? So we not saying it can't be done, G, but like the way she looked last night, she's for real got another like title shot, nigga.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And you're 41, like, and you look crispy, nigga.
There were 3 or 4 separate spots in that fight where it could have been called.
Yes. And she said it too. She was like, I'd have liked to, like, maybe if I could have got her arm in on my leg a little bit more and had that crucifix, I could have ended it with that shit. But, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, because I'm over here like, bro, I remember when you beat Rousey like yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And like, and you were the champ then, but really haven't fallen below top 10.
Yeah, she's one of
like
them,
since
one of
since
the exceptions to the rule. Like Glover Teixeira was one of the few fighters that when he debuted and cracked the top 10 in the span of his career at light heavyweight, from the time he got in until the time he retired, he didn't drop out of the top 10.
Right.
Like, and that
I said, and that's hard, bro.
Again, there's a reason why they say it's the exception to the rule. The rule is you ain't supposed to be doing that. Like, that's not supposed to be done. But there are
and look, man, nothing against fucking Yana Santos, who evidently they used to train together. And so and so Holm was like, yeah, no, I know she was training for me, and like she goes hard and the bitch works. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't take her as a joke. You know what I'm saying? And like, I feel like had Holly Holm been anybody else, Santos walked away with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she's that good.
Mm-hmm.
But just Holm was a different type of bitch.
And she
like, you know what I'm saying?
Like the hours of experience that Holm has over Santos is a lifetime. Like,
nigga, like she's like right now, I'd say she the Serena Williams of UFC, nigga.
Fair enough.
Like, I'm talking about both fucking longevity and record. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the bitch is a champ. Like, you know what I'm saying? And look, don't even be coming trying to like talk all that fucking shit, nigga. We from a different time. Bitch don't mean bitch. You feel me?
Exactly.
So anyway,
do I need to call Queen Latifah?
Yeah. No, we all about you and ITY. You feel me? But then the main event, Corey Sandhagen, Marlon Vera, A1. I know you got thoughts on this. I know you got thoughts on this. I'm going to let you have this one. Take the reins, bro.
Man, yeah, no, I definitely got some thoughts on it. I'll start it out by saying great fucking fight and game plan by Corey Sandhagen. I can't take nothing away on that in the moment, and I might down the road share some of our comments and messages in our group chat and shit, because we at least last night, and this is our maiden voyage, so this is like our first time in the group chat as a live fight's happening. And if I'm speaking honestly too, usually me and you just link up and watch the fights in chat. Like,
yeah.
But we was all in separate locations, but all in the group chat talking the fights in real time as they happen. I missed the first couple prelims, but I think me and you actually started watching right about the same time, and then we're talking up through the main event. I was mad, and when I say mad, I was just mad that like Cheeto did not turn it on at all. I shut the fight off before they read everything, because I figured it was unanimous.
Right.
Corey Sandhagen. And then in my feed on socials, they were not announcing performances of the night. And I didn't see nothing about like the Vera and the Sandhagen fight. So I went into the comments, and people are talking about how Vera got a 48-47
Yeah.
on one of the judges, and I said, how? And mind you, I fucking love Cheeto Vera. Like
And also, don't forget to mention that like Vera is absolutely a person who will like either one, like start off slow in the first round or two, and or not turn it up until later.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
He's just a very slow starter. He did this against Dominic Cruz, where some even argued that Cruz had beat him in the third round. I rewatched that fight this last week, and
that was another runaway head kick that fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Did you guys notice a familiar name on the judging panel last night?
Sal D'Amato.
Another one?
One of the judges actually fucking ref in the goddamn
Dan Mergliotta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan Mergliotta was judging. I was happy to see that because I like him as a ref. I feel like he's really knowledgeable. I was like, fuck yeah, they got a ref on the judging panel. They need more people like that on the judging panel.
Yeah, I do remember
Mergliotta
that.
had some moments. He got a lot of hate too. Y'all don't remember the Mergliotta "it's because" memes? Like, bro, they were everywhere.
I feel like every ref gets memed on at some point, except for Jason Herzog.
Yeah.
Well, and one ref that did get a lot of memes and a lot of flack and kind of justly deserved was Steve Mazzagatti. I'm not gonna say he was constantly horrible. Like he refed some okay fights. Like there was a reason that they had him doing it there in the beginning, but some of them, man, fuck, like
beatdowns.
Yeah. But
you guys ever watch ONE FC?
Yeah, I feel like Vera just never got it going. He never was able to establish, and that was probably game planning by Corey, because Corey's a fucking savage. Like he can take a punch, and I only had 2 bets last night, and they were both on the main card. I actually had picked Vera by decision or by points because I figured that if anybody was going to be able to last 5 rounds with Cheeto and Cheeto's power, it was going to be Corey, just because he's a scrapper.
Yeah. But and I think part of it was Corey said it too. He was like, "Bro, I'm hard to hit. He's hard to hit." So
I think Cheeto was looking for the knockout punch too. Yeah, and it just never came.
But he wasn't even really looking for it until the last fucking 20 seconds of the 5th round.
That
did he
too.
even try anything, or did he try to actually force something? Right. If he would have been more assertive like that, even starting in round 3, he probably could have forced Corey to make a mistake and might have caught him. But hats off to Sandhagen. He fought a brilliant fight, did what he needed to do. I said in the group chat, I said, man, fuck Corey. I don't even like this boring-ass fighter. He a point fighter, in my opinion. But no, I was mad because my guy didn't win. And I'll be the first to admit, I could be a hater when it comes to that shit. But good job, Corey. Like, you definitely will be fighting somebody, the top 3. Because Vera was number 3. So you give somebody. Let's see.
I was gonna say Marab or fucking O'Malley.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about O'Malley. Yeah. He just sitting there just watching stuff too.
O'Malley, fam. Ever since you said that shit, you was like, hey, everybody he's beat. You know what I'm saying? They ain't on the roster no more.
That wasn't even my saying. I got brought that, or I saw that stat and I was like, no fucking way. Like, that's insane. Yeah.
Is that why they won't let him fight Cheeto again?
Well, if they're going to now, like if I'm O'Malley, now's when I ask for that Cheeto rematch, because I think I saw enough with Sandhagen that I feel like O'Malley thinks that he can probably formulate a game plan to actually beat Cheeto. Now, I think, honestly, up until last night, and maybe even still a little, I feel like Vera's been in his head, and I don't blame him. Yeah. I don't care if you want to claim that you're still undefeated or whatever because your leg went out. Nah, he kicked your leg out, and then he elbowed the fuck out your face and put you halfway in the shadow realm. Like, you were happy to grab that leg when they called that fight and act like your head wasn't throbbing too.
Well,
and I'm coming around to O'Malley. I used to fucking hate dude. Like, it's just, I'm not really big on gimmicks. Yes, you can sell tickets. You got some decent stand up, but like some of the shit that he was talking was like, bro, grow into your britches first before you fucking shit all in them and make a mess. But no, there's definitely some good fights or some good possible fights on the horizon with just how last night played out in the bantamweight division.
Yeah, dog, bantamweight is stacked. That's all.
One of the best divisions in
in a long time though. Like,
I've seen a lot of debate whether or not it's the best division right now, the deepest, and the most exciting. More than lightweight.
Not only that, but the most talented, like the freshest dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like the newest,
Anybody in the top 10 in the bantamweight division really at this point is straight killers.
Is that.
Like, and it's got to be because there's so many good, talented people. Anybody in that top 10 could easily be top 5.
Yep.
It's a weird pecking order right now.
Yep. Now, that's the recap of what happened last night, right?
I want to bring up one more thing before we leave it out.
Ahead. Do you?
How about Cowboys' induction into the Hall of Fame?
Hey,
that was nice.
Much deserved. I felt like.
That's dope.
That's all I wanted to say.
Not as cold as Anderson Silva's.
Oh no, Anderson! Oh my gosh.
I don't mean the induction part. I mean the commercial for the induction.
Oh,
like, because Anderson Silva's was like, "Hey, this nigga is no longer alive, but he will be remembered." And I'm like, "Damn." And no, it was funny too because I'm watching it and I'm like remembering everything as it happens, and I'm sitting there telling my girl, I'm like, yeah, I remember when he fucking hit Forrest with the step back jab, and then that scene came on. I was like, then he grabbed Rich Franklin and just like went to fucking Thai plum school.
No, my first memory of first memory of Anderson was Chris Lehman.
Yeah.
The way he did that, and I loved Lehman. Like, when he did that, I was kind of mad. I was like, man, fuck this dude. and then he went on to beat Rich. I think the fight after that.
Yeah.
Give him the title shot because, I mean, and don't get like what a lot of casuals of that time anyways didn't realize about the Spider was he was already that dude. He had proved himself over in Japan with the Pride and just was again that dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I kind of like that though about the UFC back in the days. Like even the proven fighters outside of the actual the company they would give them tune-up fights. Like you didn't see like people like Michael Chandler coming over and getting a top 5 guy right away. They got some gatekeepers to start out, and it was kind of like a seniority thing. Like you have to earn your right to even fight some of our best competition. But at the same time, with where the sport has come in the past 30 years, there are elite fighters in every professional organization.
Yeah.
And, sometimes like Justin Gaethje, when he came over, a lot of people thought that he was getting special treatment. But no, he was that dude. He had proven like he was sleeping dudes. And every time they were stepping up, the only time he started to finally get slept or caught up was in that top 5.
Right.
And you're going to get special treatment if you can sell tickets, and people just need to get used to that, I think.
When you're the most violent fighter in the sport,
it happens.
If you can sell tickets, you get special treatment in the UFC. That's just how it is.
Even fucking bitch ass Kobe.
Yo.
Yeah.
Speaking, go ahead.
No, I don't like to talk about him.
Okay.
I don't want to give him any clout whatsoever, bad or good.
Fuck that nigga, and let's move on to what's coming up this next week. No.
Not this weekend, but the upcoming weekend. 2 weekends from now.
Yo,
we got UFC 287
Right. Now, do y'all want to start from the top and go down? Or you want to
Yes.
start from the bottom and now we here?
I think we should start from the top because there's a lot of fights on this card.
Okay, so of course, at the top of that main event, your boy Israel Adesanya again against the now champ, Alex Pereira. Pereira. Because if you from Brazil, you don't say hard R's, nigga. You use soft H's.
Man, hey, white people, take notes.
You can't be the real capoeirista maestre. You know, you can't be doing that shit, nigga. They gonna know you Mexican with all them hard ass R's, nigga. So anyway, Pereira. That's how Pereira.
And Izzy.
So I think if it's in succession like that, the second one can be a regular R, but the first one's definitely a H. Like Hoist. You know what I'm saying?
Hoist. Yep.
But
you ever seen those skits where that guy annoys Joe Rogan, but he always calls him Joe Hogan? Joe Hogan.
Yeah.
Joe Hogan.
That shit's fucking hilarious, dude. Smoke
so
the
now, this man Alex has, I mean, the last time technically he didn't sleep knock him out, but he knocked him out.
If it give him 5 more seconds and Izzy would have been sleeping.
Yeah, but I'm saying TKO is a KO. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If the ref stops it, your ass not. And you were getting ready to catch. I don't know, dog. This man was not playing with you. And he told you he wasn't playing with you when you was the champ. He told you he wasn't playing with you when he knocked you out the first time in kickboxing. And you say, oh, well, this ain't kickboxing. And he said, okay, motherfucker, you got me. But watch. I'm going to do the same shit that I told your monkey ass I would do. Because you think it's a joke.
The thing that I'm kind of worried about with this fight, and like, again, if we're going off experience, I give Adesanya the edge all day. And Pereira is a very decorated fighter in kickboxing. I ain't gonna say he's not experienced,
and but like a Tong Po attitude, disposition with it.
Yeah, but like the overall MMA experience, it's gonna slight towards Izzy. Absolutely. That's why I gave Izzy the edge in the first fight. The thing I'm kind of uneasy about, I guess, with this fight coming up is Izzy's main coach did not want him taking this fight. Wanted him to fight a fight or two before trying to fight Alex again. But Izzy obviously knows what Izzy wants, and he asked for that fight again, and he deserves it. He was a very dominant champion. Even went up, was dabbling a little bit at light heavy. I feel like he did better against Jan than a lot of people give him credit for. People feel like Jan blew him out the water. No, that was a very close fight, especially for somebody that was only 183 at weigh-ins. Or no, 193. I'm sorry. Like he didn't even try to go up to light heavy. He just didn't cut anything. Yeah. But yeah, just this fight, I'm worried for Izzy. Like, and I if I had to make a pick or had to put money on it, I would go with Izzy because I feel like Izzy has probably made some adjustments, probably has a different game plan. At least I hope he does. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Pereira just straight like sleep him this time. I'm not talking like light touches. Oh, we're gonna have the ref stop this. No, I'm talking like he's gonna wake up and probably not remember an hour or two that night.
Like their second fight, I think it was.
Yeah.
Kickboxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that made him.
That's what all of my info points to, is that he sleeps Izzy, and I love Izzy too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I love Izzy. Like I don't want to come across like I'm hating on Izzy, because
no, not at all.
Dude is one of the GOATs, especially like.
But sometimes you got to call a spade a coon. You know what I'm saying? Like it just like like I
Well,
said, this
some
it,
fighters have other fighters' numbers. It's just what
right.
it is.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say. I think what it has the most to do with is just like his disposition in life. Like,
You
you
think he
know
got
how?
too,
Do you
you
know
think
how
he got
M
too
Bison
relaxed, too
looks and shit?
comfortable?
Like, you know, in Street Fighter, that nigga ain't never smiled about shit, and he just keep killing motherfuckers. Like, that's how Pineda look.
Right.
It's like you can't. It ain't shit that's gonna make this nigga happy.
It's like the next Fedor.
Knocking somebody out is the closest thing he gets to happiness, and that's just all right. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, he walks around stone faced, like, nigga, say something to me, so I can have a fucking reason. Because if it was legal, I would kill your family, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Right.
He just has that killer instinct to me.
But yeah, my official word, at least on the main event for UFC 287, I would pick Izzy. I would say by decision, but I could see it being something like a TKO because he got close in that first fight too. Let that combo land 5 seconds earlier in that round before it stopped and he got saved. But that's the same way the thing broke down in their second match, right?
Yeah.
He got the standing 8 count, and then later on in the fight, slept him.
Yeah.
What is your take, Paul?
I was actually just about to pull up the odds on it because I was curious to see what the odds are.
I think
and understand it's right now, so they
Right.
might change day of, or you know.
Wow, closer than I expect. Who do you think's the underdog?
I think Pereira is still the underdog. I think Izzy's the slight favor.
Yep. Not much though. Plus 120 Pereira. Plus 140 Izzy.
Or minus 140.
Or yeah, sorry, I said plus didn't I? Minus
No,
140.
just making sure. Just making
No,
sure.
you're right,
I've seen some weird
I've seen both with
bets where both went in as unders, and I'm like, how does that? So wait, Vegas both want these dudes to lose. That's what's expected.
But yeah, I have to give it to Izzy. I think his way to victory is to use more grappling because he's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, which isn't a black belt, but it's not a white belt.
No, you're right.
And I just assume that Izzy's been in MMA a lot longer than Alex has. So I assume that Izzy's had a lot more grappling training over the years than Alex has. I think his way to victory is grappling because they've kickboxed 2 times in kickboxing and they mostly kickboxed the last fight and it hasn't played out for Izzy. So he needs to try something different. I think if he tries something different, he can get the win. And I think if he tries to kickbox again, he'll probably lose again.
I'm gonna step away for 1 second. I just gotta go grab myself a beverage. I'm gonna remove myself from the aesthetic here for a second.
You good? I got you. Yo, I agree though. If Izzy implements anything other than kickboxing, Muay Thai, whatever, you know what I'm saying, then he definitely stands a better chance. Because right now, I personally, like I said, love Izzy, but this man has it out for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like that's a different type of motivation. Do you know what I'm saying? Because he could be telling himself anything. He could be like, this motherfucker talked about my mom, or I don't know. You seen The Last Dance. You know
he's gonna have
Michael
stories
Jordan.
to tell his grandkids about the blood feud he had with this guy, but really it was just one way.
Right.
He just chased him down through 2 sports and hunted him down.
Yep, that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's funny as hell. No, so after that, you got a co-main that night too, with your boy Masvidal versus
Masvidal and Gilbert Burns. I'm pretty excited for that fight. I love watching Gilbert Burns fight every time he gets in the cage.
Dude,
I'm a huge Gilbert Burns fan.
Yes, same. Masvidal has been like one of them ones where I'm like, when I see him and he snaps right, it's cool, but then like I'll see him again and he won't snap. So, you know what I'm saying? And I get it. Like, I understand he's 35-16. He's had a lot of pro fights. He's done that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Gilbert Burns, on the other hand, has only lost 5 times. And ever since Khamzat He said, I'm not getting dead like that no more, fam.
Right.
And he's dog walked almost everybody he's seen since then. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Burns is an animal. I think he's gonna get it.
Burns is another person. Like, he's a little lighter than Perea, but he's still got that killer instinct. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he
Yeah.
smiles every now and then and like pets
Yeah.
dogs and shit. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
He's got the true duality of man, whereas Pereira is just a stone cold killer.
Yeah. Just straight the fuck up. Hell
I can see
yeah.
Gilbert Burns winning by submission.
Yeah.
Or knockout, honestly, any way he wants.
Okay, can we talk about that motherfucking cross that Usman hit Masvidal with, fam? And he knocked the Rocky sweat off this motherfucker.
I saw that, dude. Yeah, it sprayed like the fucking movies.
He knocked the Rocky sweat off of him. And okay, so when you like all a cross is just a fucking hard ass straight punch, right?
Right.
And that's all Usman did to this man, but his feet lifted off the ground, fam. Like he got hit with a uppercut or something.
We talking co-main now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was talking about when Masvidal got hit by Usman with that straight, fam, and he knocked the Rocky sweat off of him and his feet lifted off the ground.
The Rocky sweat.
Yeah, dog. And he didn't have to hit him like 2 or 3 more times after that.
He did. If you go watch the ref on that fight. He thought about stopping it, but nah, he made sure because you gotta remember Masvidal had never been slapped prior.
Yep.
So they wanted to make sure it was not an early stoppage.
Yep.
But yeah, they could have. They should have probably stopped.
Like Dana told that nigga, wait. Okay.
That's Herb Dean's fault, says fucking
So are y'all both y'all are both siding as far as for Burns, right?
Oh yeah.
I got Burns. I think Burns can knock him out. I think Burns can sub him. I think Burns can win any way he wants.
I don't know if Burns can knock him out.
He's got the power to.
I think Burns has power. I think he's got heavy hands. I think
if it happens early in the fight, he's got the power to. But if you watch watch the Usman and Burns fight, he rocked Usman. But early.
Usman don't have the same. Usman and Masvidal don't got the same chin, no.
You could be right, but I don't think Kobe hurt Masvidal at all.
I think Colby has pillow hands.
He outpointed him, but if you even watch, I want to say Masvidal is the only one who got a knockdown in that fight. And y'all are probably right. Burns could probably take this in a few ways, but I feel like people are counting Jorge out way more. Like I feel like really, if you look even, and again, I still will give the edge to Burns, but I think it's a closer matchup than people think. Even the fights that Masvidal has lost recently have all been against top fucking tier opponents.
Word.
Top tier. But again, the fight he's got on his hands is against a top tier opponent. But don't think for a sec that he doesn't have a chance.
Oh no.
I think he's got a chance for sure. He's got a puncher's chance.
He's got some extra motivation now though too, because if he gets a dub over Burns, that puts him back in the talk of a title fight just because of who the belt holder is right now.
Yeah.
And I think the UFC would like to make that because the 3-piece Minnesota storyline, from the back.
Exactly. Well, and there's a lot of people, and I won't bring up his name, but I kind of have to. But there's a lot of people mad that Covington is next in line for the shot when all dude did was fly to London and cut weight. What else he done in the past year other than fucking press charges?
I think it should be Bilal Muhammad, hands down.
Yeah. If we're talking off of past performances and who should be next as of right now, yes. But I could see people making an argument like if Jorge goes out there and sleeps Burns.
It's Jorge for sure. Yep. Bilal's going to get fucked again.
Yep. But it won't matter then because if Jorge does win for whatever reason, that sets up a couple possible fights to where they might even let Bilal go in and fucking whoop Jorge. You know, I think Jorge just wants the accolade of having held that belt. He's not
Right.
looking for longevity.
He's
He
done
wants
everything
that
else.
belt, and then maybe a fight, and once it's lost, he'll call it a day.
I'm good. Yep. Because like I said, he's got 51 fights professionally.
Yep.
Masvidal, you know what I'm saying? Like he's definitely a crafty veteran. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like the homie Burns, like he ain't giving up. Like him fighting Chimaev unlocked some shit in him, and he was like, I can't go out like that. I'm
Probably
not
right.
gonna go out like that.
But
You know what I'm saying?
you think his mindset changed after Hamzat?
I think so.
I mean, he had a really dominant last performance as well, and he thanked his wife. He's like, "No, my wife's like, just don't go in there and get banged up this fight. Just make this a quick fight."
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what I said. After that, he's like, I'm not playing with nobody else. Like, fuck that. Word up. So before that one, bantamweight fight with Rob Font and Adrian Yanez.
Good fight.
Word up.
Good matchup.
That's what's up.
I always underestimate Rob Font, but he keeps proving me wrong most of the time. And even if he doesn't, he makes a good fight, even if he loses.
Yep, Yanez though is very promising.
I can't say much about him. I don't know.
Like, well, yeah, I don't know a ton, but from what I've seen,
but I do see they bantamweight though.
Yeah, and that's where all the killers are.
Again, yeah, 135.
135, bruh. Welterweight match before that, Kevin Holland.
Ooh, and
Santiago
Ponzinibbio.
Ponzinibbio, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Bro,
so
I have the hardest time saying Nurmagomedov when I don't see their name.
Yeah.
I can't say it right, but I did piece it that time actually.
Yeah, no, they were saying this homie's like coming into the crest of like being the new Anderson Silva, maybe like
Santiago guy?
Yeah, like playful in the ring, has like other crazy attacks, like, you know what I'm saying? Just like and I saw him fight one time, and it was kind of reminiscent. He wasn't as like polished as Spider was. You know,
he's got 16 KOs, 6 submissions, 7 decisions.
3 losses too.
Yeah, like he's nice.
Santiago, he's got 6 losses.
6 losses. Yep.
Oh, my bad. I was talking Yanez. My bad. I was on the last fight.
No, you good. And Kevin Holland, I mean, we know what he can do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, other than getting that bag, right?
Yeah, other than getting that bag.
They keep putting him in hard fights.
Man.
Because he keeps taking them.
Right?
Yep, he does. He does, man.
I think Dana wants to get him beat up because he talks too much.
That one, again, I think it comes down to he doesn't care. He game to fight whoever, win or lose.
Yeah, He just, and I like that about him too. Like, he's like, I don't give a fuck who it is. Yeah, let's go.
Like, even with that Hamzat, I don't know if he ever officially revealed what he got paid, but when they asked him like why he took, oh yeah, I got the bag, he said, and I knew right then and there, oh yeah, no, this dude will fight anybody. He got a price. He got a price.
Yeah. And so I think that's going to be good for that reason. Like you said, he's down to fight anybody. This dude is really trying to like come up and be that. So it'll be like, I think it's a good matchup style wise. You know what I'm saying? Holland, more of a wrestler. This dude, he does the jits, but he's also got good striking. And so, yeah, that's going to be one for the books. But this is the one I'm looking forward to, is actually the first fight. Because this young man and Raul Rosas Jr., nigga. let me tell you something. Going against Christian Rodriguez.
Break
remember
it
this guy.
down.
Look,
I remember this guy.
So this dude, Raul Rosas Jr., right? So I watch a little thing called Dana White's Contender Series. I don't know
Yep.
if you're familiar with that. So we watched it. So this last year, man, actually the last 2 years have been like, the year before was dope because it felt like everybody stepped up. There was like not a boring fight whatsoever. And I want to say all of them, but maybe 2 or 3, like 3 of them went to like decisions and the rest was like submissions or knockouts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then this year it was like the same thing, only so the first week, and I'm gonna get to that too because he's actually on this card. In the first week, only one dude got a contract. And Dana came on and said, yo, if you want to fight for this organization, be like this dude. You know what I'm saying? Who is also on the card, and I'll explain that coming up. But the final fight of the final episode was this kid, Raul Rosas Jr., who at the time was 17, bro. 17 years old. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. A teenager.
Born in 2004. Crazy.
Born in 2004, fam. A year after the Diplomats album dropped. You feel me? So he goes in there, and the dude he's fighting, I want to say is like 25 or like 27, maybe. Like, dude was nice too. You know, he so Rosas Jr. is mainly wrestling, but he's also a striker, like boxing and shit, right? The other homie's doing jits and Muay Thai. That's his specialty. When I said this, and he's talking this shit like I'm not finna get whooped by no 17-year-old kid, this, that, and the other. This motherfucker goes in there, G, and like he's trying all the jujitsu angles and trying to like frame this motherfucker, and this kid is not going, bro. And when I say he's not going, not only he's not going, but he's beating this motherfucker to the position every time. So once he's on the ground, this motherfucker stayed on the ground the whole round for 3 fucking rounds, G, until he choked him the fuck out. Rear naked choke, fam. So this fight goes off. Hold on, before that, you come to find out they telling this nigga story, and he's like, yeah, dad gets him and his brother into MMA as kids, right? They're like 9, 10 years old. Well, where they're taking class at, there's only adult classes. The dad said, fuck them up. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
So that 9, 10-year-olds in there rolling around doing boxing and shit with grown ass people. I said, oh, ain't no wonder this motherfucker's like, dog, 17? And this motherfucker went in there like Cain Velasquez, bro. And then just fought like right around before Christmas or some shit.
December 10th was the last time
December 10th fought
Jay
again and
Perrin.
did the same fucking shit.
Yeah, Jay Perrin. And Jay, he's more of a gatekeeper, but I think they kind of wanted to test where Rosas was at. Rosas again said what he was gonna do,
and went in there and
like,
did
took offense to it because, like, obviously you got 18-year-old little baby adult talking this big man noise to you, and so he thought he was gonna go show everybody that it was different. I talked to Cornbread prior to this fight. I was betting on the fights that night. I was like, hey, I noticed Rosas Jr. Is this and as soon as I said his name, you're like, oh, that's dude. And and talking to Cornbread, yeah, I put some money down. I think it was like $5 on a finish under 1.5 rounds and by submission, and got the payout on that shit. Like,
yeah, fam.
Nice.
I was like, he's gonna submit most likely. I was like, and it's gonna be.
Well, and he's looking to make a statement, and I really like he got him in the first round, I think.
Yeah. Like he was talking about, he was like before I'm 21, like he was like, I want to be at 18, but he was like, if it don't work out, whatever. But in the next like year or so, I'm finna be the champ type shit.
Well, and he's talking like by like within 3 years being double champ.
Yeah, like dog, like he's gunning. I said, okay, so that he's 18 now. He turned 18.
Oh my God!
Like
Guess what weight class?
Bantamweight. Yes,
of course, of course.
G, no, okay, but so this is what I'm saying too. So found out that's how he trained, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? That because he's beyond his years in experience. G, when you watch how he controls motherfuckers on the ground, you're like, yeah, this motherfucker's been studied. Like, you know what I'm saying? But then Dana comes out and he's like, all right, so I want to say everybody got a contract except maybe one person. What was the dude? Bo Nickel. He said, I'm going to give Bo Nickel another tune-up fight, and then if he does that, I'll give him a contract. But he fought on that same shit. He was like, now I'm coming down to this fucking kid, Rosas Jr. He was like, bro, he was like, and this is the shit that I'm talking about. He was like, I would have never, he was like, you talking about what do you call it? He was like, my threshold used to be like, he was like, if you were between like 28 and like 32, that's like prime real estate basically for fighters. You know what I'm saying? He was like, and now I'm looking at like 25, 24-year-olds. Okay, that's cool. If you would have told me 3 years ago I would have a 17, you know what I'm saying? He was like, I would have laughed in your face. And he was like, I'm watching this kid, and I'm like, he doesn't need a tune-up fight. He's ready to go right now. And so then, like you said, December 10th, I'm going to give him this gatekeeper. I said, and like, that's a modern era thing. Like that didn't used to be a thing until like 10 years ago, where it was like, all right, we got this person that's such a anomaly. Let's feed him this person that's like 2.5 steps above him and see where he's at. And
well, they didn't have the strength of the roster like they do.
That's also true. But what I'm saying is like Kamzat, right? Like he came in, dog walked the first opponent, dog walked the second opponent. We're gonna give 10 days later. And then we're like, oh, okay, we're gonna give you number 3.
No. First they gave him, it was number 10. Asian dude, I can't, his name's slipping, but was a legit contender.
Yeah.
And he didn't get touched by him either.
No, yeah, like dude
carried him over to his corner.
Yeah. And worked his ass.
And then from there, it was kind of like 9 through fucking 4 refused to fight him. Yeah. And then Gilbert, I give Gilbert all the credit in the world, win or lose, that he took that fight, because
except for Leon,
you in top 5 and you got a guy at number 10 saying, hey, I want to fight you. I want your spot.
If I'm Gilbert, I did it too, and like that's what happened. And so Gilbert's taking it like, all right, like even if the dude's tough, he's not gonna get past me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And even in the fight, you're like, fuck, they're giving it up. You know what I'm saying? Like he was obvious, Kamzat was getting the better of the exchanges, but you know what I'm saying?
No, Gilbert was there. Gilbert was
right.
There. He didn't seem outclassed or anything.
No, none of that.
Dropped him at one point.
That was the best fight then to gauge where Kamzat belonged, really.
Yep. And I said, and that's why you do it. I was like, it's like the rank system. I said, so when you start out playing a game, if you're playing ranked, right, you're going to start out in bronze or rookie or whatever they got. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's say you get in that rookie game and you drop 20 people. Well, like you're going to move up to probably the middle of silver or gold. You're not going to go like keep in bronze because motherfucker, you're too good for that. So now I'm going to place you here. Let's see what you can do with these silver motherfuckers. Oh, you dropped 15 of them. Well, let me move you up to diamond. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, you only got 2 bodies there. Okay. So that's probably where you belong. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of shit. But no, Bro, I'm saying if you like watch this kid, if you can go watch his 2 fights, the one from Contender Series and the
And then
one from
that Jake
December.
Aaron fight.
Yeah, fam, and understand that one, even if he's not champ, this motherfucker's gonna be here for a long time.
Most definitely.
Only 18, like healthy as hell, like bro. The
Yeah, that's
man's
crazy. He could easily put in 20 years in the UFC.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but you got to know that they've got some belief in him, and there's also some fan draw because of the story and how young he is, because they got him on the main card.
Yes.
If you look at the main event of the prelims, Kevin
Gastelum, bro, and Chris Curtis.
Man, like that just, and then Michael Chiesa on the prelims.
Yep.
Now they got a lot of belief in Rosas to be getting that opening spot.
Yep.
Right?
On everything.
Okay, yeah, but it was Li Jingliang is
Leech.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's who
Hamzat, yeah.
submitted.
Yep.
And he's on the prelims. He's fighting Chiesa.
Yep.
This is gonna be a good fucking card.
Now, remember before I mentioned Contender Series, there was somebody else that was on that card. Joe Pfeiffer is on the early prelims as the main. He was the first contract from last year.
Yeah, Joe Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
And
so that's who Dana White came up. He was like, "I'm not giving nobody contracts. If you want a contract, be like Joe Pfeiffer. He the only one that's getting one."
When he's fighting Gerald Mershart, which was one of Khamzat's victims.
Yep.
That was his 22nd KO.
Yep.
One punch.
Damn.
That was his first fight in the UFC, wasn't it? Just came in like a fucking.
No, that was his third fight.
Shit.
Second or third, because he had back-to-back fights over at Fight Island.
Yeah.
They brought him
Chris
over.
Barnett's on this card.
What's that?
Chris Barnett's on this card. Shit. I love Chris Barnett.
Oh, yep. Heavyweight fight.
Okay.
Yep.
The guy who front flips onto his ass.
Yep. Yeah. Oh no, I know who you're talking about now. He is dope.
Yeah, I love that guy. I love listening to his interviews. He's funny as hell.
I was thinking of the other Chris Barnett. I think wasn't there a different Chris Barnett way back in the day, or he had a different first name, right?
I think it was a different Josh Barnett, maybe.
Yeah. There you go.
I was like, that dude's still in the UFC, but no, okay, Chris Barnett. But as soon as you said he does
the front flip on his ass, I was like, yep.
That dude.
And he did that gnarly spin kick, being a bigger dude, still kicked that guy in the fucking head.
Capoeira kick and
yeah,
shit.
dude.
Yeah. Yeah, fam. I said that shit works.
Yo, they're giving him the tune-up fight, though. His opponent's 16-11, it looks like.
Damn. Yeah, I don't know anybody on the early prelims either, but you know
I'm
what
looking
just other than Joe Pfeiffer and Mershart.
I know Cynthia Calvillo. She's somehow still wins, even though I always think she's not going to.
I want to say I know the name, anyways. Her opponent, Lupita
Godinez. Yeah, I think I've heard that name too.
It sounds familiar. I can't really say what fight, if any, but I swear I've heard her.
Oh wait, I know this Ignacio Bahamondes kid too. Yeah, I bet you'll know him if you get a closer look at him. They've given him a couple decent shots and he fucking fumbled them. I think he's a young kid, but he hits real hard. I remember watching him a few times. Bahamondes.
Okay, he fought Zhu Rong back in February of last year and got a dub.
I don't know why I remember him for some reason.
Maybe because of that haircut.
He was supposed to fight last July against another opponent, but it got canceled for some reason.
Word up.
But no, that and I don't want to get obviously too far ahead, and I'm sure with this, obviously this episode's a little different because we
just feeling it out.
Yeah, just feeling it out, and it's kind of nice just to kind of get out and get comfortable, familiar. Because anybody who doesn't know, like me and Andre or Cornbread, we know each other personally. I've never personally met Paul. This is actually the first time we've all really had a conversation other than group chat. So y'all are witnessing the shit. If we decide to publish this one, this is kind of our little test run.
Pilot.
But it's been decent so far. Like, definitely enjoyed the conversation, y'all. Paul, you seem fairly versed too, and you seem like you know what you're talking about as far as some of these fighters go. So
I'm a nerd.
I'm
I like
a nerd.
I like watching fights. I've done a little training off and on since like 2010 probably. So I've got a little bit of experience on the mats and stuff, but nothing crazy.
For sure.
No,
it's always good to keep up and stay up. You know what I'm saying?
Peaking just a week ahead of UFC 287, there's going to be a UFC fight night.
Yeah.
It's April 15th, and that's
in
Holloway
Kansas
versus
City.
Allen. Max Holloway versus Arnold Allen is the main event.
Yeah.
That should be good. Anytime you got blessed on a card, that it should be a good fight.
I got money on Allen. I think he's the truth. I put money on him weeks ago.
Okay. So you really got some faith in this. All right.
I think Allen's the truth. I think Max Holloway's a GOAT, but I think he's close to the end of his career. He takes too many punches. And Arnold Allen's young, upcoming. I think he's gonna enforce Max Holloway's gatekeeper status.
I was gonna say, and time will tell as well. I feel like that final fight between Max and Volk. I feel like Volk took some years off of Holloway's life, that fight.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch, but when you eat that many punches, it always makes me wonder how long it's going to affect you.
See, and that's what I'm digging about this new generation of fighters. They're finding a way to be entertaining without necessarily, putting their head on a platter. There are some good technical fights, and they're not scared per se to get hit, but they're not like, like a Justin Gaethje, like will really put himself in some danger,
right,
for some entertainment. And I don't, depending on the person, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with those fighters, because even Gaethje, for as violent as he is and for as chaotic and crazy as he's gotten, it just even based off of this last fight, he fucking was completely it was a different fighter. He fought super smart. He picked his spots because he knew the danger in fighting Fiziev. Like that dude is not a slouch. And that was one of Gaethje's best performances, period, in my opinion. If you go back and watch his reels, it's just one of the most complete fights by Gaethje.
For sure.
That fight night card is stacked.
Yeah. I was just looking at that. Edson Barbosa's on that.
I love watching Barboza. That dude's built like a brick shit house.
Yeah, hell yeah. Pedro Munoz.
Yep.
He's dope.
Yep. Oh, we got a Springfield, Illinois native on the card as well, Mr. Dustin Jacoby.
Fire.
Night card for those of y'all who don't know the Jacobys. Springfield, Illinois represent, and Dustin been doing some big things. He's got a couple blemishes. He, from what I understand, kind of went back on the undercards to kind of get some more experience, but like he's been on it. He's been really
Denise
good.
Gomes is on there.
217.
Speaking of Clay Guida, I met Mr. Guida back in 2007 up in La Crosse, Wisconsin.
He's another over 40 veteran.
Yep. No, he's been at it forever, and he's still at it. I love it.
He cut his hair. Did you see his last fight?
Yep.
I even there for a split second, I was like, "What?" And then I remembered, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I heard that."
All day.
Tanner Boser, I love watching that guy fight. He fights at heavyweight too sometimes, but he's fighting at light heavyweight. I like him. He's fast and he hits hard. I like watching him fight.
Sure. And then 2 weeks after that, there's another fight night.
Yep, Pavlovich and Curtis Blades.
I want to see Sergey Pavlovich fight Tom Aspinall. I've been wanting this fight for a hot minute. I think they both are light on their feet and they punch really good, have slick striking. I think Sergey Pavlovich versus Tom Aspinall would be such a good fight.
We got Song Yadong in the co-main that night with Tiiime.
Yep.
And then Brogan Walker's fighting that night too. Hers was canceled from last night. She was supposed to fight. So evidently she got a contract too when Juliana Miller did.
Okay. And man, there's been some this past year fight wise, I feel very blessed to be a MMA
Bobby Green, my bad. I'm just looking. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I'm just kind of reflecting, like, because if we think it just even how these last 3 years played out, you had the pandemic breakout, and football went on, and kind of just for personal preference for viewers or anybody tuning in, I follow really two sports mainly. It's football during football season, and then MMA. I baseball occasionally, like when the Cubs are okay. Which ain't been in a couple years now too, because we had our fun, we got our trophy, and then owners said whatever. But it's MMA and football. In MMA, I've followed for the better part since the UFC has been around. Since there was no weight classes, me and my pops would go down to the video store and get the new UFCs when they would come out. We'd get like 2 or 3 at a time starting out to get caught up, and then.
And not to interrupt you, but that's I was just thinking about that. The only way we watched it outside of the videotape is my homeboy's dad had a satellite dish.
Yep, with the box.
With the box, and he could get like Canadian channels and shit.
That's crazy.
So like we could watch it on that. You could watch it like as they were broadcasting it. But like, yeah, bro. Yeah. So yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, but like. So to watch it all evolve, and then like obviously we watched like the first 30 of them or so. We fell out for about 15 or so. Came back in watching in the mid 40s. Matt Hughes was welterweight champion, and you had the likes of like Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz. Like
that's when I got in.
Big expansion of UFC as a brand. With like weight classes and sanctioning and all this, when they was
like
really
the new rules and everything.
Yeah, they was really trying to push to make this legitimate. This is like even before the tough days.
Right.
I remember when the Ultimate Fighter debuted, and Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner went at it.
Banger.
Rest in peace, Stephen. Like that dude, again, I will always give him his flowers for what he did for the sport. He wasn't there necessarily at the beginning with the UFC. But what he did to kind of bring eyes to that, with that fight, him and Forrest, again, truly deserving of the Hall of Fame for that fight.
Right.
But what I was getting to, we hit 2020, and when that pandemic hit and broke out, football did continue. I think baseball was fucking wonky that year. I don't remember how exactly it played out. I didn't even really pay attention. I think they played like a shortened season.
Yeah.
And football went on, other than the fact that the fucking stands were empty, and that was weird because they were pumping in, like certain places would pump in crowd noise and shit. And like, no, I was watching it was the Packers and the Vikings game in Minneapolis, and like they're pumping crowd noise into the speakers. And I'm like, oh, this is why this dome is so loud all the time. It ain't even real crowd noise. Y'all are just got a goddamn soundtrack going on during your games or some shit.
WWE snapped the hardest though.
They did snap, but with the pandemic and the UFC, what they did and how they were to continue pushing, and that they followed protocols or whatever to make sure that they could continue making fights happen. It gave me a new love for it because it took that crowd noise away to really like that 6 to 9 months of no crowds was some of the funnest fucking fights I've ever watched in my life, bro, because there's no crowd noise happening to distract you, and you really got some of the most focused fights and fighters during that time time period because they could really hear their corners. They could really focus. There was no distractions. It was just
not only that, they could hear the commentators sometimes.
oh yeah,
Like,
oh
yeah,
that was interesting. That was very interesting. Like because they were talking mid fight about like, oh, I heard that, like, and it's like, whoa, bro, and like actually DC and a couple of the commentators talked about how they had to check their voice levels like
Yeah.
during that time period because they weren't trying to like unwillingly help somebody cheat
Yeah.
give them an unfair advantage, but really that's what the environment was that I wouldn't see as cheating. You always had
No,
access.
like you're doing your thing and you're sitting there being like, okay, well, if this person wants to win, then this is a suggestion. And if they're sitting there listening to you and like are on like, oh, well, thanks,
you're
DC. Like,
Thank you, Joe Rogan.
Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like I get it, but at the same time, like, no, that's not the end all be all, like, because your coach is telling you the same thing. So why are you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like they did it right with the pandemic. It gave me a new love for the sport, kind of a new fold to it. And I kind of had a little bit of some behind the scenes with the corner work that I had been involved in. But that even in the fucking moment is shit, man. I can't even imagine being in the cage and fighting. My fucking heart was pounding through my goddamn chest being in the corner, trying to shout out instructions and shit. So it take that all away, the crowd noise and stuff. I feel like that job might be a little bit easier. You can focus. You don't have all that stuff. Fight Island is probably one of the dopest inventions of our lifetime.
Fight Island, man. Yeah.
Like that. Like how do we not have like human death matches now? Because
I thought it was lame that they didn't not Fight Island in general. Fight Island's dope, but I thought it was lame that they. I totally thought there was going to be an octagon down on the beach. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Oh no, I did too. When they had it, and then it's like, oh, but no,
they just like did that to make it seem dope. I'm like, God, you fuckers.
Yeah, like bro,
like how they did SummerSlam and shit.
Yeah, I thought we was watching real life Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, bro. Okay, speaking of which, though, I've been seeing WWE moves surface in UFC.
Oh, what
So last night they your boys what's his name had the calf cutter on CJ Vergara.
The calf slicer.
The beginnings of the STF.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Those wrestling moves, those finishers are based off of real wrestling moves.
I know.
Too.
I know.
Okay.
But you not finna really STF you somebody in a fight unless you that cold. Like
you think you ever really gonna see somebody get rock bottomed in real life, like in a UFC match? They might get ragdolled, but not quite like to that dramatic effect. Like
no, they not gonna get like lifted up and rock bottom, but they might get tripped and like, you know what I'm saying? That's still a rock bottom. I seen a motherfucker get DDT. I seen a motherfucker get German suplex. I seen a nigga get perfect plexed. Like he really had this nigga in like a guillotine, went down, grabbed his leg, and bridged that motherfucker. I said, what?
Imagine somebody going for a takedown, they miss the takedown, Batista bomb.
Oh.
Yeah. It's even this stuff. I mean, it could have like this. It's
I said motherfuckers get pedigreed all the time. They just don't wrap their hands behind their back before they do it.
It was probably like a year ago. I'll see if you guys were tuned in for this card. I don't even remember what card it was. I don't even remember what the fight was. This is the only thing I remember. I remember two things. Herb Dean was refereeing because he was sitting there and he didn't know what to do. But there was two guys, they were in like a north-south position, so their legs were facing opposite ways.
Yeah.
The dude started smashing his cup against the other guy's face. Do you remember this?
No.
Straight humping his face with the cup, dude.
No.
And Herb Dean's like, it's like, it ain't illegal, but it ain't right. Like, I don't know what to do.
No, fam.
I have to find a clip of this shit. I'll put it in the group chat because he was on top and he just starts ramming his cup into his face, dude.
That sounds like some X-Pac shit.
So he was hitting the
Bronco
Bobby
Buster.
Brown.
No, Bronco Buster shit. Fucking
no.
So I think long term too, I want to incorporate. We don't got to do it every episode because especially if we doing this, few times a month, with some of the fights coming up and stuff. It doesn't have to be every episode, but I wanna do a segment and it's an acronym. It's called Fights, but it's not FIGHTS, it's FITES. And the acronym is Fights I Truly Enjoy Seeing. So basically, with the common landscape of the UFC and wins, losses, and how that all shakes out, whenever we're doing an episode and we kind of like, hey, let's talk some fights. Some fights I truly enjoy seeing and speculate on what we would like to see coming up. If we were on the chair of the UFC and we got to call some of the shots, what would you book?
Word.
I'll pass to you, Mr. Cornbread.
What would I book?
What
Is this current roster only or like dream fights or anything or what?
Let's start out with current roster.
Just current roster, okay. Let's see here. Well, I think first off, I want to see a rematch with fucking Islam and Volkanovski.
Without a doubt.
Let's get that shit out the way with your cheating ass. With your 300 milliliters of IV, bitch. Let's get that shit out the way. After that, and this don't even got to be the same card because I know you know what I'm saying. But if it is, that's cool.
Even better, yeah.
Co-main to that would be who I got. Co-main's gonna be the run back between Grasso and Shevchenko.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And like that don't gotta be immediate because I know she said she taking time off.
And shit. Shevchenko is?
Yeah. She said she chilling for a second.
So is Grasso gonna have a defense in between?
Probably.
That's news to me. I didn't hear Shevchenko was taking.
No, like at the end of the fight, she was like, "Yeah, I've been doing this for a minute, and like, I'm just like, 12 title defenses. I'm kind of tired, so I'm gonna just chill for a second, and like, I'm gonna come back eventually." But yeah,
man,
I said, "All right."
You guys like immediate rematches?
It depends on the fight. Like, Volkanovski, yeah, I need that immediate rematch.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how long you're finna be at top condition like that.
Yeah, well, no, I feel like they're dropping the ball big time, not running that right back.
Yeah.
Too much can happen in between them. Like if they both have to defend, I'm sorry, I just don't see Makhachev being a super active champion, and I hate champions like that. And it has nothing to do with the region of where he's from or religion or nothing. I'm not a petty fan like that. Like if you fucking fight great, I give a fuck what you do in your off time. Just again, all the hate that Bones gets, I don't give a fuck if he is sandblasting fucking hookers or strippers the weekend before big fights, because if he's showing up and still doing that, man, who the fuck am I to tell him anything? No, the thing I don't like though is when somebody gets the belt and then wants to pick and choose who they fight, and literally it's this big game of politics, and like one person, again, who I respect the fuck out of because they will fight anybody anytime, it doesn't matter. The GOAT, Volk.
Yep. Word up.
Like he does not shy away from stuff, and he wants this immediate rematch, but they want him to fight Yair. And you know what he said? Okay. And
Yair is that too, man.
Yeah, and Yair's got a chance. I'm not saying this is going to be a walk for Volk, but just based off of his track history, I feel kind of bad for Yair.
Yeah, I feel Islam was definitely his greatest challenge, in my opinion.
And again, people are arguing, oh, this and that. Like personally, even in real time watching that fight, man, I felt like Volk won that fight.
Yes. Oh, hands down.
Just that you got to that 5th round and the way Makhachev was gawking, just straight, could not keep his eye off of that clock, mouth wide open, man. Like, he broke him that fight. He did not expect that from him.
Yeah. I don't think anybody did, though.
I had money on Volk.
Oh, no, I had money on Volk.
but
I had money on Volk, and, like, again, it's still questionable, but I'm like, because I'm over here, like, each round this motherfucker's going, and it doesn't look like he's, each round you go, you're like, oh, fuck. You know what I'm saying? No, he's coming out. I'm still, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I just had 2 teaspoons of water. I'm good.
I got one for a fight I truly enjoy seeing.
What you got?
Khamzat versus Covington.
I know why you want to see that.
Oh, yeah, the same reason why everybody would love to see that one. It would never happen, though. I don't think you could pay Colby enough to take that fight.
And I think Khamzat's moving up to 185 unofficially.
I think so, too. And a lot of people, I'll just get this out of the way. A lot of people are mad at Khamzat Chimaev for his last fight with the Diaz thing and not cutting weight.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know the backstory too, that the company made him quit cutting weight early.
Yeah.
Like they knew hours before they announced it that he wasn't going to make weight because they made him stop. But then didn't take accountability for the fact that they were the ones that made that call. They put it all on Khamzat that he wasn't trying to cut the weight. No, he got stopped. But all that aside, middleweight probably is the better class for Chimaev.
Yeah.
But I would love to see him stay down at fucking middleweight and just put his hands on a couple more people while he's down there. One in particular, obviously.
Who's that one in particular?
I don't think Colby takes that fight in any scenario.
Oh no! Like I said, I don't think you could pay Colby enough to take that fight. Yeah, he knows that he does not have a chance, and that's
why.
Call this hate or not, but like I can't stand again these fighters that get up there, and I don't know how Covington's even got the ranking he's got right now. When again, if you look at his win-loss records, he's got no wins over anybody in the top 5.
Because he sells tickets because people hate him.
Yeah, it's weird as fuck. He's got 1 win over a top 5. But even that with that fucking gimmick, dude, I get why he started it, but it's like, okay, you're in like Flynn now. You're not going anywhere. You can draw some of that shit back a little bit, but no, he amped it up.
You see him threaten to kill John Anik and orphan his children?
Yeah, dude. And it's not even a fucking fighter, and you're going at him like that, man. No, there's a reason there's a reason Jorge found him in public. There's a reason why that shit went down. And there's also a reason why he called the cops.
Hell no, dog.
Oh, I got a conspiracy for you. I've heard. Maybe you've also heard it. I heard that.
I know where you're going with it.
Yeah, Dana's is saying that Colby's guaranteed the next title shot because they want him to drop the charges against Masvidal.
Yep, I believe that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not, but it definitely would make a lot more sense as to why Colby is guaranteed this title shot, like Dana says he is.
And maybe that's the case. And if it is, dude, he's even more of a bitch.
Right?
Like, I hope it is the case, and then I hope it comes out that was the case, so that they can drag him even more.
I don't know, man. Like I said it earlier on in the year because I was like, we got Volkanovski and Islam. That's finna be one. Jones and Gane finna be one. And then what do we have to look forward to?
Well, you got International Fight Week in July. It looks like they really shaping up for
Bones and Miocic.
Jones and Stipe.
Okay.
It sounds like, I don't know, is Yuri ready to fight? Because I've seen him. He's back in the the public picture. I feel like he get his procedure then? Is he training again to build up? Because I want to say, and don't quote me on this. I want to say though that I heard that Yuri might be good to go by September. And if that's the case, do they run something like who do they give Hill in the meantime, or do you let Hill do his thing until September, prepping for Prohaska?
Well, yeah. He needs to fight because he ain't fought in like a year and a half, 2 years.
Yuri, it's been about a year. He fought last year.
Crazy. It feels like it wasn't that long ago.
It was.
Well, he was supposed to fight Glover, wasn't he?
Yeah, they were supposed to fight, and it was either November or December. And then the training leading up, Yuri fucked up his shoulder and needed surgery. And so that's when he's like, hey, I'm not going to sit on this belt. Like, I will be back. So, y'all, I'm giving it up. I'm going to get myself right. Y'all figure out who wants to be champion while I'm gone. And when I come back, all I ask is that I get the shot at whoever has the belt because I was the champion when I left. And I think that's fair. That's very admirable of Yuri. I fucking love fighters like that. Like, oh, I can't compete. Well, I'm not clogging up the division.
Right.
I'm not going to sit for a year plus and not fight Kobe.
Hell no.
Bro, he's gonna send us a cease and desist after our first episode, make us apologize.
Allegedly. There we go. Now he can't. I'll draw it back because again, it's just one of the fighters. He just rubbed me the wrong way. And
no, I hate fucking
being
Kobe,
the heel.
dude.
I guess he's doing what he's supposed to be doing because I fucking hate it. But no, there are some good, definite like potential fights on the horizon. Even the way this year kicked off and how even how last year went, man. What was it? 3 different champion or belt changes. 2 of them in the fucking 5th round.
Yeah.
Let's kind of rewind a little bit as far as what's y'all take on the Leon and Usman, I guess number 3.
So this is my thing, right? Because in that fight, I mean, you could have it going either way, right? Up until when was the fence grab? 4th or 5th round?
Fence grab, I think, was in the 2nd or the 3rd.
Okay. So there's a fence grab, meaning now you're in a tie situation, basically, because you get a point taken away. You know what I'm saying? So that either renders that round a tie or goes.
It happened in the 3rd. Now that you're talking about it, I remember how it was in my mind.
I think that was 10-8 Usman.
I feel like Leon had the first 2 rounds. I gave the first 2 to Leon in real time. He just had more pressure. He was doing more. The 3rd round, even with if there was no point deduction, I still gave that round to Usman. Period. I feel like he was the busier of the 2. So with that being a 10-8, that means going into the 4th round, it was completely even, at least on my card. The 4th and the 5th round, they were close. But I even feel like in real time, and I may have been a little biased, but I gave it to Usman.
But what I'm saying is this. Just all that aside, so you grab the fence, you now get a point taken away. And let's just say that it's fucking even now. And the 4th and 5th round, they're split. So Leon gets 4 and Usman gets 5.
It would be a draw.
It would be a fucking draw in which the champ would retain the fucking belt. That's what I don't agree with.
What do you think should happen?
No, but so what I'm saying is if I'm the champ, right, and I'm winning, but then you start getting the best of me, what's to stop me from doing something to take a point to end up in default mode and retain the belt? Leon should have lost because of that shit. Motherfucker, you grabbed the fence intentionally.
And it wasn't just the fences. It wasn't just the fence grabs. And I say that plural because there were multiple. And the thing that pissed me off too is that he didn't try to just downplay. He completely tried to deny that he fucking did anything.
Right.
Like I was watching the fight with you. I'm screaming at the goddamn TV, like almost threw my voice out, was calling Leon a bitch and a cheater and just,
Like, not only should you, because like you said, if it's multiple, not only should you get a point taken away, you should get a round taken away.
Yep. And really,
like, you know what I'm saying?
And the fence grabs, and then I think there was 2 different low blows and an eye poke.
Yep.
So that's by my okay. So 2 low blows, an eye poke, and at least 2 fence grabs. That's 5 different times throughout that championship fight that he did something that he was not supposed to be doing, and he still got the belt. But also, I knew even when they were tied going into the 4th, I knew going into a decision period, regardless of what fucking he did, he wasn't winning that belt because they're over there in jolly old London and they fucking just dick ride their fucking fighters so hard over there. A point in case, Michael Bisping versus Matt Hamill.
Yep.
This is you have to go way back.
Oh yeah, no, I remember.
Matt the Hammer Hamill brought it to Bisping that fight. Literally won 3 rounds to none. I maybe gave the middle round to Bisping. But Bisping got the decision, got the nod, and went on to have a great, fantastic career. And don't get me wrong, I think Hamill had some good fights.
Yeah, he was decent.
But last fight I remember him fighting in was the Jones fight with the illegal elbows.
Yeah.
Steve Mazzagatti, I'm looking at you.
Talk your shit.
Legend.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, but it just like you said, with that kind of cheating in a championship fight, you shouldn't.
And it's not even necessarily the cheating, but more so of like, all right, I'm obviously feel like I'm not getting anywhere or something, or like I'm preventing this from happening, so I'm gonna go above and beyond. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, he did that. It got the point taken, and essentially that's what got him the decision. You know what I'm saying? That was the upper hand because it was like, oh, you're winner by majority draw. Like, no, you shouldn't be able
decision.
Majority. That's what it turned into, right? And so it's like, no, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be able to. That belt should go in limbo.
Yep.
Because that's not even a decisive win. You know what I'm saying?
But I will give Leon credit. He did a lot better than I anticipated he was going to do. I also, and I feel like Francis Ngannou actually kind of confirmed this, because I think I was telling you watching that fight, like Usman just seemed off.
Yeah.
He didn't seem like his normal, like, savage press forward. Like, even if we got to the 4th and the 5th round, which are usually, those are his rounds. He is the king of the deep waters.
Right.
He seemed gassed. He seemed flat. And after the fact, and Usman hasn't said anything, and I respect him for it. I don't blame him for not even saying anything on it. But Ngannou made a post about how Usman hadn't trained a bunch leading up to that fight. There was an injury or something was going on with Usman, which would make sense as to why his cardio isn't what it normally was. Because he was visibly just gassed, not like completely gassed, but had it taken out of him by the 4th round, and you don't see that on Usman.
Right.
And again, case in point, you go back to the Woodley fight when he won the championship. That was 25 minutes of constant pressure, takedowns, punches, just everything through the fucking kitchen sink at Woodley.
Right.
And won the title and deserved it, because nobody had done that to Woodley prior.
Right.
And yeah, so
And that
you're
was
gonna
his
tell me-
down. That was his start of his demise.
Yep.
What a fall from grace.
Man.
Yeah. But again, just the same as like what you just referenced, that was Woodley's fall from grace or the start of his downfall. We could be witnessing the start of Usman's downfall. He might have hit his precipice. He might have hit his peak. And this is the hard part of the fight game is when shit like this happens. Like with again, Chuck Liddell.
Yeah.
One of the baddest motherfuckers to ever put on the 4-ounce gloves. Like just gave.
And that after that first knockout,
every time he went into that cage, you're just like, oh, the Iceman's here, bro. It's time. And I fucking hated him when he was champion, bro, because nobody could beat him. But as soon as and it started, I feel like Rampage changed.
After that first knockout, yep.
And then from there, he had one good bounce back fight against Vanderlei Silva, who, mind you, was I think a shell of himself by that fight.
Yeah.
Like if they would have, those two would have fought 3 years, 4 years prior in Pride, like they almost did, but Rampage fucked it up because he beat Chuck. If they would have fought then, that could have been one of the most phenomenal GOAT fights ever.
Fuck yeah.
But it just didn't materialize. And it's just the same as like, we missed out on a lot of prime fights, even with Fedor, because, you know, companies couldn't come to agreements about shit. And it sucks because we as the fight fans suffer because of it. It's not the organizations, it's the fans.
Yeah.
It's just the same with this running back, this Makayev and fucking Bulk fight.
Yeah.
Don't fuck the fans. This is what the fans want. You talk to anybody on either side of that fight, and everybody wants to see him run it back.
Run it back.
So why aren't we running it back? Because there's really even no clear contender for Islam at this point.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Beneil Dariush.
Yeah, really, if we're being honest. But they're gonna make him fight Ollie, and you know that'll be a good fight. But yeah, no, Dariush has done more than enough to get a crack at it. And another fight I would truly enjoy seeing coming up is that let's run back Gaethje and Poirier.
That was a banger.
Yeah.
And I think they're both interested in it too. Dustin had been talked to after this Fiziev fight and said, brought up Gaethje's name. He said that name scares me. Because but when a name scares me, those are the fights I love because those are the motivating fights. Those are the fights that make me train harder. So yeah, if we can make it happen, I'd run it back. Like fuck yeah, I love a big shout out to Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
Just fighters like that legit, they know what they're signing up for, but they're still about it, and not only are about it, but can back it up. Like, thank y'all. I fucking love it. I'm here for it.
All day.
All day.
You feel me? Well,
but
man.
I don't know how long we've been running now at this point.
We had 153. I was gonna say I need to go get some food, take the missus out.
No, that's not a bad spot. So you have a few minutes shy of 2 hours for the
you know what I'm saying? That's straight.
The debut. That's not bad at all. Long term, we would like to start incorporating, like some stills, some graphics, some shots from the fights and stuff. We're not trying to get sued by UFC or WWE or whoever the fuck owns
whoever. Yeah,
allegedly.
Zuffa Productions or some shit like that.
Viacom.
I don't even know. I just know I'm not trying to get sued by anybody. So we're trying to do this right. But I know if we're classified as press, which technically, I mean, we're doing fight news, that falls under some kind of press. I'm sure we have some exemptions and some stuff that we can get away with as far as things that we can show. So I'm going to do my homework and we'll figure all that out to try to incorporate some graphics, just some more stuff to go along with this. I also would like to start building a better intro for y'all. We kind of working on a basic program here at the moment.
In due time.
Might do some editing prior to this, so we might have a better intro than what I think we do now by the time y'all see this. But long term, that is the goal: is quality, good content, some good comedy, and some good conversations. So I guess for now we'll sign off. I appreciate anybody and everybody who's tuned in. Again, I'm A1. Long term, we'll get some better socials out there to where if you want to follow us, I'm sure we'll get a fight page up, shit like that. But we'll keep y'all posted.
Holla.
Hyped.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.